Welcome back to the Apocalypse Road playthrough. This is part 5, where I'm going to move the final 10 cars for turn 1. We're starting off with Big Damn Heroes, who have yet to score a point. Car number 1 is going to move. Car number 1 has a machine gun turret. That means they can fire in any direction, so they can fire at 444. And they do not have a bonus. Car 444 has a defense of 3. It's going to be a tough shot. And they draw a 0, which is definitely a miss. So let's see what they want to do. They don't like to ram. They don't care for events. So they're going to do... I think they're going to go 5, solo movement. 5 plus the base of 7. It's going to be a 12 total movement, and there will be an event. So let's see, looking up ahead, does he have any teammates? There's one in the left, there's 2 in the left-hand lane here. He has 2 teammates over here. So he wants to tend to go to the inside lane. He's going to move 12. Car 444 is in front of him, so he'll be pushing him into these cars, and they all will continue to move forward. So let's see how far we go. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5, and here's one more for 6. And then all these will go 6 more, so that's 1, 2, 3, or 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. All these up to 9. Oops. And then they'll push all of these, including his teammates, up 3 more. Okay. And so we've got a pretty good pack moving up to the finish line. They all will be scoring a point for passing that line eventually if they don't get knocked out before they get there. And now we have the event. The event is Get Here. The active car may move solo 1 or 2 movement points as long as no occupied space is entered. Well, unfortunately, there is no room for them to move. There's no spots available, no spaces available, so that event has no effect. Moving on to the Rangers, the Villa Rangers. Rangers are the white team. They like to move the car in the lead, but there's only one. Every team only has 1 car left to move. So let's find that one. That car, hey, is car number 41. 41 has a machine gun in the rear, so they can take a shot at 3, I guess that's LZ3. LZ3 has a defense of 2. 41 does not have a bonus, so they need a 2 to be able to hit that car. And they got a 0, so no dice there. 41, they like to avoid events, so they have 2 diagonal movement or pursuit movement. Well, I think they'll just go ahead and use this 2 pursuit movement with a base of 8. That means they're going to move 10. Pursuit means that everybody in front of them would be pushed, but he doesn't want necessarily to push those folks. He could push them all ahead, but rather than give them the advantage, he's just going to take off and go 10, because he has the opportunity to do so, being on this space that verges into 2 spots. So he goes going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just short of crossing the line, just short. So let's turn him over. He is done. And there is no event for that. The next up is Archmage Engines. They have one car left. Their car is the Z3 car right here. Z3 has 5 damage, has a gun in the rear. There is nobody behind him, so he has no one to fire at right now. They don't care for events, so he's going to go 3. And I'll tell you what, he just might, if he tries to ram MDB, it will probably take him out. MDB is in the lead, is the lead team. Z3, the Archmages haven't scored anything. So I don't think he's going to ram this turn if he can avoid it, because he doesn't want to be taken out. So 3 plus his base of 8, he can go 11. Well, you know what? I think he is going to be doing some, I think he will ram somebody, because he's going to go 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now he could veer on the inside and not ram, which is what I think he's going to do that. You have to use all your movement. You can't just stop short. But he'll just pull into here and end his, well, yeah, he'll end his turn. He has a trailing tail gun, but he doesn't have anybody to shoot. So he'll stop right there. And that was not a event card. Moving on to Gelato Division. That's the black team, and they are over here, number 79. 79 has a machine gun turret. He can fire any direction. 1MN is a defensive 2. 79 does not have a bonus, so he's going to go after 1MN. He needs a 2. He gets a 3. That's a hit. 79 hits with his machine gun, and the machine gun does 1 plus suppress. Now suppress just means that car that's being suppressed can't fire or ram next turn. So 1MN is suppressed. 1MN takes a point of damage, which is their first damage point. Let's see what 79 is going to do. They don't, I think he's just going to move. Going to do a line movement. Base of 7 plus 1 is 8. So he's just going to move this entire line 8. Actually, he will skip those 2 cars because he'll take the outside, and they all will move 8. Well, I tell you what, if he pushed these cars, his teammate is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He would push his teammate across the line. So he might as well do that. So we're going to first car to, well, no, these cars have not crossed yet. They're still on their, they haven't even crossed the start line for one time yet, so that's not really a lap. This is the car that's in the lead right now, as far as the one ahead of the lap. These others have not yet moved across. So, well, he'll still move his teammate across. Let's see, here we go. Total was 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just move the 5 right now. We got 3 more, and it has to move the whole line, and they follow along. They follow along in his step. So we'll move this one around. We got these 3 more. They move all around here. got one final car to go here, which is also good for them. So, now is that just 5? Oh, wait a minute now. See, that was that the full? I don't think that was the full 8. Wasn't that just 5? Yes, because it was going to move 143 across. That was 5. So it goes 6. And then this, I'll move them all in a moment. 7, 8. 7, 8. 7, 8. 8. So now 67 is actually on that lap. And so these guys all move. They're all approaching the finish line for the first time. Okay. And that was 79's move. He is done. 41 has not crossed the line yet. Better remember that. Okay. That's Gelato. Oh, did they have a... No, they had a 1. No event there. Hazleton. Car number 2. Car number 2 has machine gun turret. They can fire at either of these cars here, but they'll go after the defensive 2. So they just need a 2 or better, and they get a 1. That's a miss. So car 2 is going to move. They like to ram if they can. They use their rams already. So they're going to go 4 with an event. And their lead movement, so all the cars behind them, behind car 2 will follow. Now is this, that's not car 2. So he's actually going to pull, he can actually pull his teammate M77 along with him. So that was a movement of 9, was it? No, 4 plus the 2. Movement of 11. Movement of 11. So everybody behind him will move with him. So he's going to go, I think he will do what? Is that diagonal? No diagonal. I think he's going to just go onto the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He likes to avoid the pack, but all these cars follow suit. They all do the exact same maneuver. Here's his teammate. Now, both of these cars now have crossed the line. I turn them, so I remember to give them a point. I kind of turn them like that. All these cars here, they all have passed. They've all passed the finish line. So here we go. We got the first time now. We got 5 cars that have crossed the finish line. So each of these 5 cars score a point for their team. So car 2, that's Hazleton. So Hazleton scores a point. So we'll take one of their markers, move it down here. And 44Z scores their Baggett Bakers. That's their first point. M77, that's also Hazleton. So that's their third point. That puts them in the lead with 3 points. Then we have 75W, which is Thunder Miners. That's their first point. And then we have 85. 85 is Archmage. And they score their first point. So there we go. So that's Hazleton's. Oh, then we have the event. Let's see what the event is. Open road. If the active car is alone in a sector, and it is, it may move forward as many sectors as necessary to become linked with the next car in front of it. Okay. Well, that's good for the 2 car, because he's going to move all the way up and come linked with this car 37. We flip him so they show that his turn is done. All right. All right, pocket racing. Where is the pocket racing car? Let's see. That's the MDB car. That's this MDB car right here, is way in the back. MDB, what does it have? It's a turret, machine gun turret with a +1, so they can fire at Q. That's their only target. Q with a defense of 3. They're +1, so all they need is a 2, and it's a 0. That's a miss. So MDB. They like the longest one, and they also like to ram. So let's do a ram movement. They're going to move 4, plus their base of 6 is 10. And they're going to ram. Now they could ram Q right in front of them, or they could move further up and, gain some ground here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, they'll do that. They'll take off, go all the way around, and ram APB on their 10th one. So APB is being rammed. They do 3 hit points to APB. It says 3 hit points to APB, 2 points to MDB, and everybody ahead of APB also takes 1 point. So if APB takes 3 points, that puts him up to 5. They're still there. MDB takes 2. That's their first 2 points. Now I guess we get to pick which one of these takes 1. Mom already has 3 points. 777 only has 1. And we'll give it to Mom. Mom now has 4 points. And that is the end of MDB's turn. They had fired and they had missed. But there is an event. Movement event is sideswipe. The active car must move laterally 1 lane of their choice. If it's occupied, they make a collision attack. Wow. So they can make a collision attack against Z3, which they will do. So yeah, they do a second collision attack, this one against Z3. Z3 takes 5 points. MDB takes 0, so that might score a point there. Z3 takes 5 points. That definitely knocks Z3 out. They only had 1 point remaining. So we'll get rid of these 5. Get rid of those. And we'll put Z3. Normally you would put it in the destroyed car section on the track, but I like to keep track of it this way, just so I know how many cars they've lost really easily. That's their second car. And we'll put the next car coming out, we'll put on the track here, flipped it over because it's already had their movement. And since that knocked out a car, MDB scores a point for packet racing. Packet racing now is at 3. Again, tied for first was Hazelton. Let's see, MDB, that was the event. So it's Extreme Hazard's turn. That's the yellow car. Where is the yellow car that has not yet moved? Oh, it's the one in the chute right here, number 300. Can't shoot while you're in the chute. All right, they like to stay away from other cars. They do like to ram. They're going to do lead movement. 3. 300 is a base of 4. So the way the lead movement works is anybody behind them at the time they start will follow. Well, they can't. No one's going to follow them out of the chute. So they're just going to move 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've moved 5, and they have to go 2 more. So they'll have to push 1, and then they go 1 more. So they'll just go ahead and push these cars up, and that is their turn, except they might get to fire. Yes, they have a missile launcher in the front, so they can take a shot at car number 2. All they need is a 1. Should not be too difficult, as long as it's not a 0. It's a 2, it's a hit. And that missile launcher does 4 points. 4 points to car 2. That's all the damage car 2 has, so they're still in it with 4 damage. All right. That is the end of turn. That's the end of car 300's turn. There was not a hazard event. Thunder Miners, the green cars, that's going to be 138. 138 has a machine gun in front. There is nobody in front of 138. Let's see, they don't like to use events, so they have either they're going to do the 2 line movement. The base is 6, so that's going to move them 8. Now, line movement is this entire line of cars here are affected. So we're going to get some points here. We're going to get quite a few points scored here. They're going to go 8. Well, no, we'll get 4 cars to score anyway. So let's move him. We're going to move him 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go and put them into that turn. These people were already across the line. Car number 67 crossed the line, so let's mark them. These 4 all crossed the line. They all score a point for their team. So 67, that's a teammate of the Thunder Miners. So Thunder Miners score. So let's give them a point. That gives them 2 points now. The Archmage Engines have scored a point. Gives them 2 points. The Gelato scored a point. That's their first point. And then the Baker scored a point. That's their second. So there you go. That's the Thunder Miners. They did not use an event. So deadbeats, 2 more cars, and this is the end of turn 1. The deadbeats, that's the dark purple. Where are the deadbeat? Where's the deadbeat car? Let's see. There it is. It's right over here. The Owl car has a missile launcher in front, so they can take a shot at DAP. They need a DAP's got a defense of 3, and a 2 is a miss. There's no +1 for the Owl car. Let's see, the Owl car. I like to use the longest one they have. They're going to do 3, a solo movement, plus their base of 4. So they're going to go 7. So Owl wants to move 7. So that's going to... And he could push the DAP car forward to get the... Okay. And this was, what kind of move was it? It was a solo movement. And diagonals with allowing it of diagonal. So let's see, he'll take off. He won't push the DAP car. He'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think he'll go 6, 7. So he'll pop in front of that 41 car. That's the end of his turn. He did cross the finish line, so that adds another point for deadbeats. That is their second point. And that's that. And did he have a... No, there was no event. Final car, turn one, is the Baguette Bakers. And which one is it? It's the D4D. D4D right there. Let's see, D4D has an autocannon turret. They can fire an HMK or 79. 79 has a defense of 1, so I think we'll just go for them. So all they need is a 1, and they got a 1, and it is a autocannon. The autocannon does 4 points. 4 points to the 79 car right here. 4 points to 79. 79 didn't have any damage. So 79 now has 4 points. 1, 2. And 2 more. 79. There we go. Now D4D gets to move. They don't like to ram. They don't like to use events. They don't like to take chances. So they're gonna move 2 plus a base of 4 is 6, and it's line movement. So this entire line right here will move 6, unless he wants to. He will do this. He'll move 1 space inside for the 1, and then I'll move forward from there. Actually, he could go 2 and then pull his teammate along. So he'll do that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he'll pull all of these cars. Because as soon as you make your first forward move, that's when the line kicks in. So D4D has now completed their turn. That was not an event. So that's it. So after 1 complete turn, everybody, all the teams now score a point. When the turn ends, unless it scores the final point, which it's not. So that's 3. Baguette's at 3. Big Damn Heroes are only at 1. Deadbeats go to 3. Gelato goes to 2. Hazleton goes to 4. Packet Racing goes to 4. Thunder Racer goes to 3. Thunder Miners, I should say. Via gets their first point, and Extreme gets their second point. So, okay. So after turn 1, the Hazleton Miners and the Packet Racing teams are in the lead. Well, I'll stop it there, and I might play the next couple turns and then come back and show you where everybody's at. But that's it for now. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.